My neighbor, Mike, is a Doomsday Prepper. This guy is intense. Retired Army, zero personality, camo Humvee, all that. No one in the neighborhood really likes Mike. He's short with everyone, and I am the only person he talks to. Not speaks with, talks to. I feel like he's barking orders even when he asks a question. But his wife, Karen, insists he likes and respects me. They never had any children, and he has no one else besides her. So he considers my family and myself as part of his. Which is nice, in a weird way. Yesterday, Mike invited us to go to his bug-out location for a weekend getaway. He showed us some pictures of the place, and I gotta say, it does look very welcoming. Industrial, with a shot of home. So we agreed. When I got home from work today, Mike had this massive RV in front of his house, and the Humvee was on a trailer behind it. He asked me if I would be willing to pull an enclosed trailer with my truck, and I said, yeah, sure, no problem. The drive wasn't too bad. We had a good time, snacking on some dehydrated food, singing some songs, playing I Spy. When we arrived, we were all in high spirits, but the kids were starting to get hungry for dinner, and Mike began to grill. We ate dinner outside, watching the night sky, general conversation, just kind of enjoying everyone's company. Mike seemed much more comfortable here than he did back home. He seemed like a normal person for once. He was telling jokes and laughing at my kids' jokes. I've never seen him so cheery before. It was strange watching this grumpy ex-military officer blossom with life. It started to get dark, so we all went inside after cleaning up and got ready for bed. Our sleeping quarters were all the way in the back on the left side of the main hall, past the living area, or as Karen likes to call it, the parlor. There was a corridor off the main hall which split into 4 rooms. One is a restroom, one is a closet, and 2 are bedrooms. These rooms are not compact. They are large, 40 by 40 feet with 12-foot ceiling. There's very little in these rooms other than the bare essentials: beds, some sitting arrangements, some built-in shelves. Just the basic stuff. After we put the kids to bed, Jules and I, Julia, my wife, went to the kitchen to say goodnight. Karen wished us a good night, and Mike asked if he could speak to me privately for a moment. I said of course, so we went to the library. I'm not kidding. It was a library. It was the size of a small auditorium and lined with beautiful bookshelves. Every shelf filled with books. There were a few study tables centrally located and one desk near the wall with a computer. He had a nice setup for some serious research. Mike looked at me and said, I got a call from a contact, and she says there is a possibility of an attack. She doesn't know exactly what form it could take, but I wanted to get you guys away from there just in case. I held his gaze. Wow, any specific reason why she thinks it might hit our area? I asked this, humoring him, because honestly, he seems like the kind of guy who would overreact to something irrelevant. She said they lost comm with their insider working with a militant group. He told them if they go dark, it will happen soon. She's had no contact for the last 3 days. They're assuming a coordinated attack of either an EMP or a nuke, so these guys are going suicidal. If you've ever thought I'm off my rocker, you've seen nothing until you've seen these guys. At this point, I was starting to accept his paranoia. He wasn't overly paranoid, merely prepared. Well, thank you for bringing us here, Mike. You have no idea how much that means to me. He looks back and says, I'm a hard man, and I know I'm a hard man. There's no way to protect everyone, but a man can do all he can to protect the people he cares about the most. Wow, I don't know what to say. I had no idea you felt that way. He kind of shrugged, looking a little embarrassed. Not much. I extended my hand and he accepted. Hopefully tomorrow will be a brighter day, I said. I think my kids would like to explore the grounds tomorrow. Oh, yeah, we can do that, he said, now looking like an excited child. I think they'll have fun. Sounds good. Well, we'll see you and Karen in the morning. We said goodnight and parted ways. I made it back to our room and settled in with Jules. I'm not sure how long it was, but Karen came in and asked us to come out to the living room. She looked scared. We followed her out, and Mike was standing behind a chair watching the TV. The images were horrifying. My wife was not crying, but she did have tears in her eyes, and Karen hugged her. She was crying. 55 cities had been hit by something. They're not entirely sure what, but the desperation and the people's cries being broadcast on live television would send chills down anyone's spine. Where we were located, however, this was no issue for us. I sure am glad we came up here. I bet you guys are happy to have accepted this invitation. Yeah, I am glad, I said, looking at my wife. I am grateful for this man's paranoia. I am grateful for the bunker he built with supplies able to last years without having to hunt for food. I'm grateful we'll have a comfortable life here. It would be nice for our children to have surrogate grandparents in their lives who will dote on them. Karen was doing that all night, and it looked a lot like a role she was more than happy to play. And Mike would have me to do whatever preppers do, so that'll keep him happy. For now. I'm also grateful he's completely unsuspecting of me. He was wrong about a couple things. One, these guys were not suicidal, but we did take care of that traitor. Two, they were not militants, merely patriots for a higher cause. I'll continue allowing Mike and Karen to live. They may be useful to us. I can never reveal who I am or what part I played in the series of devastation to the average man. That will be the easy part. Those dealings are with my brothers when we can meet again. And it is only then when our true nature can be shown to the world. I should get some rest now. After all, I have to prepare as well. Tomorrow I have a world to rebuild for my master.